What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel and you check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak about LeBron James and the approach that LeBron James is taking as far as like assimilating himself to the community or not assimilating himself to the community in Philadelphia. Now, anytime when you watch sports and you see a player get traded or a player sign a contract and move to a new team, you always see at the press conference they say, "Man, you know what? I'm looking forward to being a part of this community. Um, I've been a fan of this or I've been a fan of that. I used to like this team growing up, even if it was fluff." And fans thought that it was fluff. It's the right thing, it's an intelligent thing to do to ingratiate yourself to the community that you're going to be part of, right? And see, that's what I don't understand about LeBron James and his circle. You want to be accepted by the fan base, because number one, it just makes really good business sense, right? It's good for the player, it's good for the team, it makes good business sense. But LeBron James, for some reason, thinks that uh like it's all about him wherever he go at. And he really don't care about these different cities. He don't care about Cleveland, Miami, he don't care about LA. And that's why fans and everywhere he played, fans are not really, they give him a lukewarm type of they could really care less. Anytime Cleveland fans said that they didn't really care if LeBron came or not. And remember, LeBron James is from Ohio. And so for him to be as big a star as he is, and for him to have played there two times already, and then fans say, "Nah, we we're really indifferent. If he come, he come. If he don't, then." But I can't. And that is, in my opinion, it's LeBron James' fault. Think about, like, when you endear yourself to a community, like, you always have leverage with that community, and you can always go back. You can basically always go back home. What's the guy named, the football player for the Rams, like, coming out of retirement, and I think his name Darnold, right? Aaron Donald, right? Aaron Donald's talking about coming out of retirement. And so that right there, that's like a big news story for for him and for the community. And they looking forward to him coming back to the team because he was a great player. He played there, and he's a part of that community. He's a part of that family. But LeBron James, he just operate differently than most other athletes. And when you don't do basic things like this, man, I don't get it. I can't understand why. So shout out to the basketball show, the guy, who's his podcast I'm getting ready to play now. And I want to react to his comments or his feelings about why, what he think about this LeBron James situation.
LeBron James wanted to be on the 76ers, representing Philadelphia so much that he's not even going to live in Philadelphia to avoid the backlash that sooner or later he's going to get from those fans. You know where he's going to live? He's going to live in New York, as per Brian Windhorst. Let's talk about it.
All right. So and that's the thing. Even though LeBron James know that he's going to get some backlash from that fan base, it's still important to try to reach out to them and to reach out to them and try to build that bridge or build a relationship with that city. Even the hardest fans like New York, Philadelphia, like, and some other fan bases around the country, you still want to at least put that effort forth. But LeBron James is not going to do it. He's letting it be known that he's going to live in New York while he's playing in Philadelphia. That's crazy. That's like a smack in the face. And most of the time, you don't, like I said, you don't see that. You know, players brag about, oh yeah, I just bought a house here, or I just rented a house here. Me and my wife, we got a condo, and we're gonna be here, and y'all gonna see us out in the community. We want to be a part of the community. That is good business, but LeBron James knows that he is, like I don't think this is a sign that LeBron James, number one, knows that he's probably not really going to put forth maximum effort. And Philadelphia is not a city where they're not going to let you cheat them. They're not going to allow you to cheat the game. So if you don't put forth maximum effort, they're going to let you know. And so I think with LeBron James not even staying in Philadelphia, he's more so uh, insulating himself from the community so he don't have to listen to the radio shows. He don't have to be, he don't have to be walking around town and hear this and hear that, these different comments and stuff. He's really going to insulate himself. And so fans know that. And so it's just not a good look. I think there are other ways he could have insulated himself from the community or from hearing certain things. You could live in that city and still insulate yourself, in my opinion, but he's not even going to live there. It's he's getting off to, and this is really how LeBron James has operated throughout his career. Like he never really ingratiated himself to the city of Los Angeles, right? Because going into Los Angeles, he already knew that he's coming behind Kobe Bryant, and coming behind Kobe Bryant, like those are some big shoes to fill. You have to, and if you want to try to fill those big shoes, then you got to play to a certain level. LeBron James was never really interested in playing up to a certain level. He was never really interested in ingratiating himself to Lakers fans. He was always only interested in what it was, like what benefited LeBron James, right? And so if he didn't perform up to Laker fans' standards, he really didn't care. Like how Lakers fans really felt. Now, I'm not, a part of the Los Angeles or Lakers community, so I don't know like how much LeBron James like got out in the community and participated in like different like charity events and things like that. I don't know, if LeBron James could, was a part of those type of things. But I do know that the 8 years that LeBron James was there, man, like Laker fans really didn't dig him. They really didn't dig him. And I think most of it was probably because of his indifference to them. He never really made the effort. It's the same thing with like going into, like, say if a man meets a woman and she have kids, right? And kids, young kids can know that this guy, if he don't really care about the kids, or if he's indifferent to the kids, they can feel that. Even if he don't say that, he don't have to come out and say, I don't really like y'all, I'm just here for y'all mother, right? They can still get that feeling, and they get that they don't get that love. Whereas though if a guy come in and he's good to the kids, then that makes that transition easier. And you build a bridge between yourself and the kids. But LeBron James, man, he would not take that. He's not ever going to take that approach. And with him being in it, like I said, 23 years in the league, going on number 24, he's not going to change now. But I would think that LeBron James would, he would understand that now by this point, that it's important to ingratiate yourself to the fans of Philadelphia. Um, just build relationships, man. There have been plenty of ball players that went from one team to another team, made themselves a part of the community, and found, that the community accepted them. He's not like Shaq came from Orlando. Kareem came from, where did he come from? From Milwaukee. So he's not the first superstar player that came from another team and went to a larger or different market and found, and built relationships and found success in that second city off the court. But LeBron James won't even put he won't even put any effort in, right? And so I'm looking forward to seeing what LeBron James can do with this Philly team. Um, I really I like them even before LeBron James, he signed up. Like I said in previous videos, I like Jalen Brown and Maxey with a healthy Embiid. But now that you add LeBron James to that, man, if LeBron James can just make it, not so much about himself, then I think that Philly can have some success. So that's my take on it. LeBron James, like I said, continue to make. The man 40 something years old. You should, him or his team. Nowhere in the world they should be making these kinds of mistakes at this point in time in his career. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, man, I'm gonna check y'all out in the next video. Peace.